Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Laura Mukherjee, the founder of Interested Educational Solutions, and today we're diving into one of the most powerful strategies you can use to foster a growth mindset in students, emphasizing effort over talent. As an educator of over 15 years, I've worked with many gifted learners. And one common challenge that they all seem to have is the difficulty of embracing setbacks, especially when they encounter challenges that they haven't faced before. Gifted students are used to excelling with very little effort. And when something doesn't come easily, it can feel frustrating and discouraging for them. But the good news is here, we can help them shift their mindset and build resilience. In today's video, I'm going to show you how focusing on effort rather than innate talent can help your gifted learners understand that growth and success often come from patience, practice, and the willingness to face challenges head-on. So what does it mean to emphasize effort over talent? This strategy comes from the research of Daniel Coyle, author of The Talent Code, who highlights the importance of practice and motivation in developing talent. Coyle's research emphasizes that talent is not just something that you're born with. It's developed over time and through consistent, focused effort. This means that even gifted students need to work hard, push through challenges, and continue learning to reach their full potential. When we praise a child's effort, whether it's their persistence in completing a difficult task or their creative approach to problem solving, it teaches them that success doesn't come from talent alone. It's a process. Talent can help, but it's effort that leads to real growth. For example, instead of saying, "You're so smart" or "You're so talented," try praising the effort that students put into solving a problem. So an example would be, "I'm so proud of how hard you worked on this problem," or "I noticed that you didn't give up when things were tough." That's the kind of persistence that leads to growth. This approach doesn't just motivate students, it helps develop resilience. When students learn that setbacks are a normal part of learning and that they can overcome obstacles through that hard work, they become more confident and more motivated to keep pushing themselves to do better and better. This is especially crucial for gifted students who may not have faced as many challenges early in their career. It might be one of the first times that they're feeling challenged at all. Whether you're a classroom teacher or a homeschool parent or an educational professional, applying the strategy of emphasizing effort over talent can be a real game changer for fostering a growth mindset in all students, but also in gifted students. Let's break it down into some specific and practical steps that you can implement in your everyday interactions with your students, with your children, starting right now. Number 1, praise the process, not just the outcome. One of the most powerful ways to emphasize effort is by shifting your praise from the outcome to the process. Many gifted students are used to being praised on their talent or intelligence, but this approach doesn't really help them when they are facing difficulties. So again, instead of saying "you're so smart," focus on what they did and the process that they underwent to achieve that success. So here's a few examples. "I'm so impressed by how you broke down that problem into smaller pieces." Another example could be, "You kept going even when things got tough. That's really great. Good job." Another example could be, "I really love how you used multiple strategies to solve that problem. Good work." These type of comments encourage students to value the process of learning rather than just the end result. This kind of praise helps them to understand that growth comes from effort, it comes from strategy and persistence, not just talent, not just their ability to kind of wing it. The goal is to help them understand that their ability to persevere and use creative problem-solving strategies is really what leads to true mastery of a subject. Next, we can create opportunities for challenging tasks. Gifted students often will find schoolwork easy, which can lead to them trying to avoid tasks that they can think are difficult or maybe outside of their comfort zone. To help them grow, it's crucial to provide tasks that are just beyond their current skill level, tasks that will challenge them and require them to stretch their abilities. Now, it's important to note that we don't want to choose something that's too far over their abilities. We want it to be just in that area of growth rather than, something that is unattainable. So this is where you can step in as a teacher or as a parent by offering assignments, projects, or activities that require critical thinking and problem solving. Are you wondering what that means? Here's some ideas. One idea is to provide a multi-step problem or an open-ended question that doesn't have an immediate answer, and then ask students to explain how they got to that answer. Encouraging students to explore topics in depth or from new perspectives. So maybe it's a topic they're already familiar with, but asking them to look at it from a different perspective or maybe more in depth than they had previously gone would really help that as well. Another example is giving them tasks that require them to work collaboratively with others. That can help them practice communication and teamwork, skills that are often overlooked in independent learners and skills that they often struggle with as well. These type of tasks will push gifted learners to think critically, to persevere, and to apply strategies that they've learned, reinforcing the idea that success requires real effort. It's not just an easy path for anyone. Another thing that we can do is to use setbacks as learning opportunities. I really like that phrase, learning opportunities. It's an opportunity for students to learn even more. Gifted students may struggle with the idea of failure because they're used to succeeding, often effortlessly. It's really important for them to see that setbacks are an integral part of the learning process, not just a sign of incompetence. So encourage them to see mistakes as an opportunity for new growth. Instead of problem solving for them or having them give up when things get tough, guide them through some questions. Some of the questions that you might want to use would include things like, what do you think went wrong? What could we do differently next time? You could do things like focus on the actual process of learning as well. What did you learn from this mistake? How can you use that knowledge going forward? Or how can you use that knowledge next time? You can also encourage students to ask for help. Telling them things like, if you're stuck, it's okay to ask questions, is really valuable, especially if they're used to getting things on their own the first time. Learning how to ask for help and especially specify what kind of help they're needing is a really valuable skill as well. This helps students reframe challenges not just as personal failures, but as chances to improve as people and to learn new strategies. When gifted students realize that failure is really a part of everyone's journey, they're going to be more likely to embrace challenges rather than to shy away from them or not try them at all. Another thing that we can do as educators and parents is to set realistic goals and celebrate progress. Goal setting is a really important way to keep students motivated and focused on their growth. Sometimes students can choose goals that are way too complicated. So it's our job as parents and educators to help them set achievable goals and then break those down into smaller and manageable steps. This can help give a sense of progress and build confidence in students. So for example, if their goal is to write a research paper, We could help students set smaller objectives, such as first conducting research, outlining a paper, drafting one section or one paragraph at a time, and then editing. When we're goal setting, it's important to track progress and to have students track their progress as well. Things like using a progress chart, a checklist, a sticker chart, a journal will allow them to see how far they've come and how far they have to go. That way, if they feel discouraged at all, they can see how much progress they've already made. Celebrating small successes along the way, like great job completing your outline, or awesome job on your research today, you worked really hard, will remind students that small, consistent effort will lead to real results. By celebrating incremental progress and keeping the focus on effort, students are going to learn that real success doesn't happen overnight. It requires sustained effort and continual improvement and reflection. Another thing we can do as educators and parents is to model a growth mindset yourself. The best way to teach students about a growth mindset is modeling, right? As an educator or a parent, you can demonstrate the value and effort of persistence by sharing your own learning experiences. So opening up your own experience as an opportunity for students to gather information about that can be really helpful as well. For example, you could say, I remember when I first learned how to write a research paper. It was really difficult, but I kept practicing and I kept working hard, and eventually I got better at it. And now it's really quite easy. Or something like, oh boy, I was doing that math problem and I didn't get it right the first time, but I didn't give up. Now I feel more confident in my abilities and I'm so glad I kept at it. When students see you persevering and embracing challenges, it reinforces the idea that growth comes from effort. It also sets a really positive example about how to handle setbacks and learn from them in a constructive way. Lastly, we should encourage self-reflection. This is a really important component to growth mindset, as it really forces students to think about their actions and how they can change them to continue improving over time. Questions that you might ask as an educator include, what strategies did you use to solve this problems? Or which one did you think worked best, if they tried multiple strategies? What part of this task is most challenging for you? How did you overcome that? If you had to do this assignment again, what would you do differently next time to make it go even faster or even better for you? Encouraging self-reflection empowers students to take ownership of their learning, develop critical thinking skills, and apply growth mindset in future activities. So there you have it. Emphasizing effort over talent is a strategy that can make a really huge difference in how gifted students approach challenges. When we praise persistence and problem-solving strategies, we help them to build resilience and that growth mindset. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on the next videos in this series all about growth mindset. In upcoming videos, we're going to dive deeper into these techniques and subjects like embracing failure, setting goals, and how to create a supportive learning environment for your students to thrive. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, cultivating curiosity and nurturing knowledge in students of all levels can help them build the skills that they need for success both inside and outside of the classroom. See you next time.